Alright, hello my peoples, and welcome back to yet another Patch Notes video. It's me, your boy, back again with patch 9.11. So, aside from the funny name, this patch is also funny because... Oh wait, but first, sorry, where are my manners? On today's palette, we have, as per usual, 7-Up. Let me lower this so I don't get hit with the copyright strike or whatever, or muted. Even though I think the song's kind of nice. A little lower. There we go. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm eating some sort of meat, which I have yet to find out. Let me actually taste one right here. Okay, I'm eating beef. Yeah, I'm eating beef with some bread and some 7-Up. So that's the palette today. A little light, but hey, we're all trying to lose weight. Shut up! Shut up right now! Thank you. Anyway, we're all trying to lose weight. So, into the patch notes. For patch 9.11, I originally thought this patch had absolutely nothing. Because I usually do look at surrender at 20 when there's a new post, on it. And I look for the new stuff that comes out. But generally, I don't look too deep into it. I just look at, face value stuff and I skim over it. So I kind of can tell, okay, who's being changed. But I don't know whether it's good or bad. I like to keep my opinions until now. But I was like, wow. When I was glancing over it, I was like, wow, is there really nothing this week? So I went to the mega thread of, all the stuff being changed. And actually, there's a lot. So I was actually really surprised. But that's not important. What's important is, let me pause the music so you guys can hear this. What's important is that next patch, we're getting this.
The stars compel me.
Oh, and they compel me too. The legendary Jin skin is on its way. I am hard. It's a shame it couldn't come out this patch, though. Because this patch, 9/11, ironically comes out tomorrow. And tomorrow, the May of the 30th, is my birthday. Yes, I am 21, but that's for a different story. I'm digressing. This is Patch Notes video. Let's keep it Patch Notes. And not next patch. But next patch, the Jin is coming, and I'm ready. I bought shirts and everything. Anyway, that's next patch. So anyway, hey y'all. How y'all doing? Having a good week? Good. In this patch, outside of some smaller balance work... Oh my god, please tell me I'm not muted. Okay, I'm not. Woo. Okay, outside of some small balance work and a revert to something we reworked, they're doing nonsense. Okay, cool. And the only skin releasing this patch is Tristana, because next patch is going to be a doozy. But like I said before, that's next patch. We'll get to that. So, finally in 9.11, challengers will get to experience the long-awaited Golden Recall animation and unranked queues and the ranked queues they're challenging. Who gives a shit? Okay, so anyway, Demon Tristana, there it is. It's very cool. Adrian's giving it to me for free because I want to bet, and there's a lot of art of it online. So go check that out if you're over 18, of course. Which, if you're watching my stream, you should be. I don't know about YouTube. YouTube, it's whatever. All right, so Akali. What do I think of Akali? I think Akali is actually okay. I don't get too scared when I see her, but I know I'm probably going to die. So, I would like to see a nerf. What are they doing? We're lowering Akali's ability to deal consistent and sustained damage. Cool, it is a nerf. So the energy refund is less later on. That's actually a big chunk, holy shit. And the damage ratio is, holy god. Bonus. Wow. It's only the passive, though. I mean, it's a big deal for the energy refund and the damage, but, is the passive where she gets most of her damage? I don't know. When I think of Akali, it's like the Q. No, the passive does play a part. The auto does definitely chunk me out. So, this is good nerf. I think it's enough to keep her in line. I don't think she's too crazy. It's just, I get a little scared when I see her as an AD player. Cool. Amumu. I've actually been playing Amumu recently, and what I've noticed is that I am playing Amumu as a tank, and apparently I'm doing it wrong. God, the words I'm speaking now. Every other season I would have been called a heretic. But you're apparently supposed to play Amumu full damage. So, I forgot exactly what they did but that made a Mumu go or stop going tank to full damage. And apparently it's a problem. I personally haven't seen it being a problem because, ironically, when I see an Amumu, I think, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to like try and kill him for 10 straight seconds. But now I'm like lulled into a false sense of oh wait, fuck, I forgot the music. There we go. I'm lulled into a false sense of security now, where it's like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to take a long time to kill him, but I just two-shot him because I'm a good AD. So it's a little weird. But then he one-shots me, which is even weirder. I'm like, holy shit. But yeah. So they're reverting the 3%, which they gave to him. Which, does this fix his problem? I don't know. I think people are still gonna go AP, honestly. Because the 3% bonus true damage wasn't like enough to drive him fully AP. He still has to be good with AP even without that 3%, I think. It's just people finally realized it, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's just fun. Who knows? Onward. Wigo. Basic attacking after E no longer delayed due to animation. What does that mean? Echo knocks his base attack at the regular cadence after using his speed. That was having to wait. Oh, yeah, this felt really bad on Echo. I remember when I used to try and play Echo when he released, when he was broken. Yeah, there was this thing where, like, you'd E and then you have to wait a bit sometimes if you, like, were basicing before it. It was really weird. It was really, really weird. But I'm glad they fixed it. Echo's been a whole mess for a long time since his release. They got him in line, and he's not that good. But at least he's building AP now. And I actually feel he's a bit strong. Like, Echo's damage is nothing to laugh at. And he gets a big shield. And he gets a bazillion ult that does damage for himself. I don't know. I think Echo's really good just because of the ult and the W. Like, the Q is whatever, the E is whatever. You give that to anyone else, they'll probably die. It's the W shield and massive AoE slow and possibly stun. And the nuke life-saving ulti that is, like, insane with him. I think his ult is, like, more insane than anything, honestly. But I think he's really good. I don't think he's good enough to nerf. Well, actually, I do, because as an AD player, I get scared. But I don't know. I think he could use a small nerf, but maybe not yet. Let the Echo players have their fun for a little bit. Oh, yes, Falling is playing. Falling by Subtact, one of my really nice chill songs. Anyway, onward. So Echo, I told my opinions about him. Galio. Galio's been another one who's been a huge mess. He got reworked. He was extremely good, and they just kept nerfing him. And now no one knows what to do on him because he doesn't do anything well. So I'm assuming to see buffs. So what are they doing? W, which is the taunt, base damage decreased. I forgot they put damage on it, honestly, which doesn't really matter, but they're decreasing it, which why even put it on the first place. Damage ratio increased. Okay, so they wanted to scale, and then the E damage decreased. We're shifting some of Galer's baseline damage he leans on as a support into W's ratio, and a stronger reward for his AP building damage. Wait, what? Oh, okay, so they want to push him towards mid building AP. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. Are they buffing it by that much? By 0.2, 0.3, 0.6, 0.9? Wow, that actually is a lot. Holy shit. And it's a taunt, too, so, like, you're going to hit everything else. Yeah, that's actually a decent amount of scaling. 0.9 scaling is definitely something you have to pay attention for. And the E is getting nerfed base damage. Nothing late, but 20 early. And then decreasing ever so slightly. Yeah, no, this is fine. I actually like this. The taunt doing more damage later, especially if you're building AP, is good. I think Galio actually does need some help. The most he's used for is a CC ult bot, but at that point, pick Nautilus. The only thing Galio has above Nautilus is he can roam a little bit, but if you do nothing on your own, why would you? It's like, come on. Stop playing games, right? But yeah, I think he needs some more buffs. I don't think this is enough, honestly. 7-Up. Alright, Graggy Ice. The 280-pound fatso. So, what do I think of Gragas? I think Gragas is one of the most useless fucks there is right now. People do his job better, as I just said previously. People have CC, and he doesn't do enough damage to warrant going him, unless they buff him. So I'm assuming to see buffs, because when I see a Gragas, I laugh, and then they die. One trying to ultimate. At that point, play Lee Sin for fuck's sake. Unless you need mana at that point, I don't know, play a Mumu. But yeah, I'm definitely expecting to see buffs. He's not good top. He's not that good mid. He's not that good jungle. I don't know. I feel like he's kind of ass. Excuse me. So, base health, health growth, attack damage increased. So they're making him tanky, or they're making him healthy, more healthy as the game goes on, and do more auto damage. This does nothing. Jaina. So, Jenna. What do I think of Jenna? I think the shield supports are in kind of a weird spot right now, and that's for the pure fact that some weird-ass ADs are being played. So, from what I know, Ezreal is still a pretty big craze, and shield ADs on Ezreal aren't that good. They're not that bad, don't get me wrong, but they're not that good. They wouldn't benefit as much on Ezreal as they would as a Jinx, or a Jinx. Please buff Jinx. Or someone like Tristana or something. Like someone who autos really fast and a lot. Not with his fucking Q. And doesn't scale like him. But anyway. Jenna. I think a good Jenna is definitely noticeable. I think there's a high skill cap on Jenna that not many people can realize. Because to be a good Jenna, you have to actually think. And most people play Jenna because they don't want to think. You just put the E on the AD. Okay, there you go. Oh, they're on top of you. Let me attempt to hit my W. Oh, you're low. I ult. It's like, I don't know. I think Jenna is very simple at a first-hand level, but can get very masterful, and it shows. A good Jenna will outshine a normal Jenna any day. But regardless of that, I feel Jenna's actually pretty weak. I don't know. I feel like the shield pops. Jenna's whole thing is the shield and peel, right? If they have a grab support, you're not getting peel. Maybe Jenna has to ult, but like Q doesn't really help you at that point. So you're kind of fucked. The shield will pop really fast. So the shield is basically, yeah, to mitigate some damage, but the biggest drawing point to Janna's shield is the AD it gives. Because it gives a lot. I think it gives max level more than a BF sword, which is insane. That's like a better than a Twitch ulti, you know, minus the pen and stuff. But like that's a lot of AD. So Jenna ideally would want to put the shield on the AD, yeah, to protect them, but mostly just to give them AD and proc Arden and stuff like that. Which, yeah, she could do with the ult, but most likely than not, she's doing it with the shield. So, it's the AD. The shield gets popped almost instantly, which you lose the AD at that point. My thing is, whoever you put the E on should gain that AD until the shield duration would normally run out, or until maybe it comes off cooldown, but at that point you could just give them permanent AD, so it's kind of tricky. Yeah, so until the shield would run out regularly. So let's say the shield lasts 5 seconds. Even if the shield gets popped, you get the AD for 5 seconds. That's like what I really think is good. Now, other than that, I think she's really weak. One, compared to just how the meta is and just what I feel about her. I feel her out. Even though I still fucking play her. So anyway, W cooldown now scales. Base damage decreased late. Interesting. E cooldown now decreases when Janna CCs enemies. Okay, they want to prioritize the E. That's good. Cooldown decreased early, increased late, shield increased. Okay, good. So, what do they say? Right now, Janna feels like a poke mage. That's true, but if you want to play a poke mage, you're not playing Janna. Early in the game instead of appealing and shielding support champion. Yes. We're taking this opportunity to encourage more kind of interaction between her and everyone else than point and click harass. Yeah, they want point and click shield. Especially in lane. So she can get the most out of all her abilities. Okay, so how bad are they gutting W? Wait, they're not gutting it. They're reducing the cooldown. Base damage 55 to 5. 190. Wait. This makes no sense. A poke mage early in the game instead of... Oh, yeah, because people max the W. Okay. I mean, honestly, they're not nerfing it that bad. Yeah, they are kind of nerfing it, but they're not nerfing it, like, early that badly. They're nerfing it max level, which... That is around when you're, like, 7 or 8, I guess. So it is mid-game, but... I don't know. This seems so weird. Anyway. And they're lowering the cooldown, too. Like, what the fuck? Anyway. E. I have the storm. Each ability that slows, so W... or knocks up the Q, enemy champion reduces the E's cooldown by 20. And then the cooldown is already getting buffed early, but nerfed late? What the fuck? And the shield is increasing by 10. Wow, thanks, Riot. This is so stupid. Okay, so basically they want to make it so you're using E at least a little bit, and then Wing, and then Qing. So that way you can have the W. Honestly, this is such a poor way to go about it. The damage nerf on the W is mostly negligible, because number one, it might be a little bit, but the cooldown is getting lessened. So you're going to be able to spam W more often. So it's like, does the base... and it's base damage too, what the fuck? This is so stupid. And it's not even like early. It's later. It's by what? 95... 105 to 15 to 5... Okay, actually it's by 40. That's kind of a lot. Fuck. But like, I don't know. I feel like... she's still going to be a poke mage. Or feel like one. And then you're just going to have E up more often. If anything, this is a buff. I don't know. This is fucking weird, yo. 12 seconds. 20. I don't know. This is really weird. I don't know how I feel about this. I think this is a buff, which is good. But I hate it because I don't think it's what Riot wanted or intended. I don't know. This is actually really weird. I need to sit on this. I probably won't remember to talk about it next patch. Hopefully I do. But this is weird. And I think it is a buff, which is what I think Jenna needs. But not in the way that Riot wanted to do it. It's kind of weird. Alright, Jace. What do I think of Jace? I think he's kind of fucking useless. If you get ahead early, cool, you do good. But other than that, he's pretty useless. And I think he falls off late. Besides maybe some poke damage. But in pro play, actually, it's the exact opposite as I'm reading right now. But I'm not a pro. I should be, but I'm not. So they're nerfing him because of pro play. Cool. This matters nothing to me or normal games. Unless you're a challenger, Elo. Which, what is it, top 1,000 or top 100? I forgot. But anyway, Karthus. I think Karthus is still in a decent spot. I think he could be better. He definitely got hit with the fucking stick a lot by Riot because of his jungle nonsense. Ironically, I tried to go as jungle nonsense, but I was a little scared too because I felt like he wasn't good enough. So I feel like because it's Karthus, because he barely sees any play in general, he had some time in the light, got smacked around a bit. I'm hoping to see a buff here, so maybe he could stay in the light or come back in it a little bit more. So, Karthus is still running games, still with the virtue of being a great jungle clearer. But it's the burst on his ultimate that's really putting him over the edge. Yeah, a little bit, but... I don't know. I mean, Karthus is just intended to be a mid laner. But his kit is so weird that he can jungle with it and mid lane with it. But it's easier to jungle with it because of R. So basically the problem is the single target damage from the Q and the R. So they have to do something to one of those two, and they opted for the R, which hurts his jungle and his mid, but definitely his jungle more. So what are they doing? They nerfed base damage and scaling. That's actually insane. Base damage by 50 and scaling by 10%. Oh my god. Or not 10%. 10. Well, yeah, 10%. Wow. I don't know how I feel about this. This is weird. Like I said, I think Karthus, if he's not good, he will never be played. Unless you're a weird, sick Karthus main, you're never going to play him. He's not going to be that good. If he's not good, he's really not good. I feel. Like, he's useless. Everyone just feeds on him, and then his passive helps you do that. But it's like, I think he needs a buff, man. I don't know. All because of people abusing him in the jungle role. Man, fuck jungle. People abused him in the jungle role, and now he's, like, deemed a problem, even though his main role mid, which he doesn't even go anymore, is, like, getting hurt because of it. I want to see Karthus mid again. Even though I actually hate going against Karthus, it's so annoying. The one caveat is, he has no movement abilities, and he could be bursted. And yeah, his passive helps him because he wants to die sometimes, but it's still dying. Like, come on. Come on, right? Stop playing games again. But, whatever. I mean, I hope to see... I hope this doesn't put him in the dirt. Alright, Master Yi. So, Master Yi got reworked. A tiny rework, like a pseudo rework. I like it. I think the build that's most optimal on him is still on hit, regardless of what they did to Rageblade. But I do think overall he is weaker. Now, I saw Cowstep's video on the new Yi. He likes it a tad bit. He went some weird dumbass build for his first game, and I didn't really watch anything after that. But, I don't know. I think Yi honestly needs a buff. because they're trying to cut down his stomping and low elo and his uselessness in high elo. Which, at this point, they have to give him a full rework to do that, and then he's not Yi anymore. But they didn't really solve the problem, because I stomped as hard as I used to for the most part in my low elo, which I shouldn't be in. I should be in challenger elo. But, like, I don't know. They have so many problems at trying to solve the issues they're aiming at, and I feel like they don't do it and then just create more problems for themselves. So anyway, let's see what they have to say about this. In 9.10, we want to nerf Master Yi in average play, like I said, and increase satisfaction for all players. Okay, cool. The changes were pretty neutral, cool, like I said, and at the time they seemed they'd be more impactful due to changes to Rageblade and Conqueror. As a follow-up, we're cutting back his early attack speed and some of the isolated target damage from Alpha Strike, so he loses some of his early clear speed, but still has a more reliable window of untargeted. So he's losing 8%, which is actually pretty fucking big. And then Q on the same target does 15% per additional strike. Okay. So this does hurt his early clear a good bit. His 1v1ing, I'm going to be honest with you, the 25% extra damage on additional strike early doesn't matter because it does like wiener ass damage. I'm going to be honest. Like, we could do without it. But the thing is, I think the real reason why they added the multi-striking on the same person, aka the Fiora ulti, the old Fiora ulti, was basically because if you're 1v1ing someone and you Q, you're instantly out of Q. Like, it's really fast. Now, if you were a good Master Yi like me and Cowsep, you had to be good to dodge things against a 1v1, like, in a 1v1. You had to time it exactly right. Now they made that easier, so I guess that's why they're nerfing him, because now it's easier to dodge things, because you stay on the target for longer. Like, no matter what now, no matter what you Q, you'll stay on it for... You'll stay invulnerable, or non-invulnerable, fuck, because you can die in alpha. You'll stay untargetable the same amount of time no matter what now. Whereas before, if you targeted 4 things, you'd stay untargetable for a longer time. So technically, he does have a lot more... Well, technically he doesn't. It's actually easier to use him. I felt like he had more skill before in 1v1s at least. See, this is so weird. I don't feel like Riot's doing good with what they want. This is weird. I don't know. Don't nerf him. I don't think he's still that good. It's fucking Master Yi, man. Come on. Don't fucking nerf Yi. Remy. The fucking one of the counters to Yi, ironically. Or quote-unquote counter. If Yi goes on hit, he could fuck him up. But, Rammus. I actually played Rammus recently. I had a lot of fun. Luckily, he doesn't go some stupid... well, I mean, you can, but he doesn't. He's not supposed to go some stupid attack speed, AP, hybrid, AD, non-tank nonsense. He goes tank. Rammus goes tank, and I like that. Fucking Amumu. So, I played him. I actually like him. I think he's a little weak, and... yeah, that's basically what I think. I think his Q should last longer, honestly. I don't know. Like, I feel like it lasts too short. What is it, 8 seconds? And then you go to 180, but it's like at the end where you really speed up. I don't know. I still like it. So what are they doing? Passive basic attack damage flattened. What the fuck does that mean? And our damage decrease. They think Rammus is doing too much damage in team fights. That is fair, actually, and I'll explain why. But to ensure we're not completely making him hit into a lint ball, good, we're pulling power specifically out of his ult and passive so he can still hit enemies via power ball and frenzy and taunt. Huh? Wait, they just said they don't want him hitting like nothing. And Q doesn't do that much damage. Q does like 240 and it scales off AP. And do you build AP on Rammus? Fuck no. Unless you're stupid. So it does like 240, which is decent. And then the E, or not the E, the R already does wiener ass damage, but I'll explain why it's a little crazy. The R specifically. I agree with the R change, not anything else. So it's 8 to 20, and now it's 10 all levels. That's stupid, because now that affects his clear too. That's really dumb. But going on to the R, Rammus's R is an AoE ability that does AP, right? And it procs multiple times. And it can deal 200% damage to towers, which I think it's actually one of the few, if not only, ability that can actually damage towers directly in that way. It's a little weird. But basically, Rammus's ult, before, let's say max level did 120 base, right? And we're assuming you built no AP. 120 base, and it procced, I'm gonna say 7. I think it's 8 times, but I'm just gonna play it safe and say 7. So 7 times, right? 7 times 120. I'm not that good at math. Well, I am, but I'm not doing it now. 7 times 120 is 840. That's on one person, potentially, what he could do. Multiply that by 5. That's 4,200 damage across the whole team with one ulti if he hits everyone, which is pretty fucking crazy. And that's on top of the W, the Q, the E. His ult is actually very underrated, I feel Rammus's ult is very underrated. And it's up a lot. They nerfed that before. Like, they noticed, like, hey, Rammus has his ult up, like, every 30 fucking seconds. Why is that? And then they started realizing how good... It's not the best ulti in the world, don't get me wrong. But it's really good. It's a really good ulti. So, I understand nerfing the ulti, but I don't agree with the passive. Because that's, like, one of his main damages things with E. E doesn't give him damage. It's the passive that gives him damage when he gets the attack speed. Because then he could proc the passive more. But anyway, and that also affects the damage of his W. But anyway, that's just my opinion. I think Rammus needs to be not touched like this bad. The ult damage, like I said, I can understand. Weenie. So Weenie, I think, is the jungler that people default to if they don't know jungle. He's decent. He's good. He can be pretty good. He's not the best. But if you're good at him, you can do good. So Warwick, Drain, tanking, Drain a bit more. Basically, people are noticing, hey, Warwick's fantasy is, or at least his kit fantasy, not his, like, thematic fantasy. His thematic fantasy is chasing you down and making sure you don't get away, which it kind of works. But his kit fantasy is he won't die. Because he gains so much healing from, like, his passive and his W and his ult and his Q. And then the damage reduction. His whole thematic is, like, he can live. Because of what Singe did to him. Also bring in the lore to it. But that's just not happening. So and Aatrox is the best example of like what that could be. And now people are like, wait, Aatrox can do that. What about Warwick? It's supposed to be him too. And now they're realizing that because Warwick is like an unkillable fucking beast. So what are they doing? The Q healing is going up to, oh my god, that's actually a good fucking amount in late game. But it's late game, so it doesn't matter too much. But hey, a buff is a buff. I like it. Oh boy, here we go. Alright, Yuumi. Jesus Christ. If I talked a lot on the other people, I was gonna say guys. I don't know. Was all fucking men? I don't know. Yuumi. Okay. When Yuumi came out, Yuumi was absolute fucking ass. Yuumi is still pretty much ass. Yuumi has good things about her. She does decent poke damage. And her heal is pretty good. And her ult is pretty okay as well. Okay, not good, but okay. The W is fucking negligible, honestly. The shield in her passive is also pretty good. But nothing out here is outstanding. And the main problem is, she is so fucking squishy that if your AD is bad, if you're a Yuumi player, if your AD is bad, which most likely they will be if they're not me, they'll die, and then you just die by default. And you're so squishy, you can't do anything on your own for the most part. And sometimes when you go and get the passive shield, you just get fucked. Like, I feel like Yuumi, for what she brings to the table, is not worth what you're giving up, which is being squishy and not doing as much as other supports could potentially do while also not being squishy. Oh, great. I hear people fucking laughing. I hate happiness. Anyway, so what are they doing? I'm assuming to see buffs. They already hotfixed her ass, and it helped a little bit, I feel, but I'm hoping to see more buffs. So, Q. I see the light. Yumi's range indicators how much brighter when prowling projecting this first cast, fading down in brightness over its duration for both Yumi and Touch Eye. That's good. Hopefully the ally could see, like, they have control over how far it goes as well. But I would have liked to see damage. But whatever. Because the main problem I have with the Q is it's not AoE. It's single target and it does decent poke damage, but I feel like sometimes the thing is wonky. Like when you're trying to follow your cursor around it, or trying to lead it with your cursor, sometimes it just bugs out, I feel. And it's really weird. And then they could just hide behind a minion, or your AD could be stupid. So it's like, it's weird. But I would have liked to see a better buff to that. W. This is one of the most useless abilities. Aside from making her untargetable, it gives barely any AD, and the only person that really helps her is Jhin. because Jin gains out AD out the ass and then gives her a percentage of it. But other than that, she basically gives next to nothing and just takes. And it's not even enough to really affect what she's doing. It's like pee-pee. It's not enough to lose another body in the bot lane that could tank and block stuff or just be a potential something to take damage, even for a little bit. I don't know. This is honestly the ability that tilts me the most with Yuumi, because Yuumi, as a character, isn't another lane partner. It's basically a leech on you, and you're left alone in the lane, almost as if it was a 2v1, just body-wise, which is really bad. Okay, E, zoomies. What does this mean? They keep saying this. Flattened Yumi's movement speed decay to herself and to the ally she's attached to based on ability power. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I don't give a shit. They fixed a lot of bugs, which I feel like she had a lot of bugs. But honestly, if this is all they're doing, I still think this champion's ass. And I've seen a couple pro players laugh at her saying they've never lost to her. I forgot the guy's name, but like it was pretty funny. He's like, oh, I've never lost to a Yuumi. I still think Yumi's pretty ass. But I still play her too, because I like her thematic, man. Fuck. Okay, moving on to Zac. Oh my god, I'm going to have so much talking to do this patch. Fuck. Okay, I'm going to try and go quick with this. This should be the last thing. Yeah, okay, it is. Fuck. Alright, whatever. I'll take my time. So, Zac. This is basically, in the interest of time, and because I also want to eat my food next to me. Let me take a sip. My fucking throat's hurting from all this talking. Okay. This is yet another example of Riot, quote-unquote, reworking a champion because they thought the champion wasn't in a good spot or needed a change, and then slowly realizing their reworked sucked ass. Which I don't know if that's because they got a new person on the team who just sucks at balancing, or because the meta changed or whatnot, but regardless, it sucks ass and it's not as good. So they're actually reverting him. Yay. Just like Kog'Maw. Even though for Kog'Maw, I feel like it was the only thing that was the opposite. I feel like Kog'Maw's rework was too good. Everyone's else rework was bad, so they reverted. Kog'Maw's was literally too fucking good. Imagine the old the reworked Kog'Maw now. 5 attack speed with old Rage Blade last patch. Wits and Nasher, fucking disgusting. Disgusting, I don't even want to think about it because we lost that. Because it was too good. But Zac, it's the opposite. So let's see what they're saying. We've been following some excellent conversations regarding where Zac landed after his rework in 2017. Ass. After assessing players' feedback, we ultimately decided that we went too far in pulling damage out of him in our quest for a more CC-laden tank. Because that's all he does now, and at that point just pick Sion. We agreed that part of Zac's pattern of diving the backline and doing damage is the core to who he is as a champion. Zac players felt that after diving in, he wasn't able to accomplish anything more than just knocking people around like a fool. With that in mind, we're reverting his reworked ultimate and W. Oh, so they're keeping the Q. I don't know if the Q was the same as it was before. I honestly don't even remember. Zac got reworked 2 years ago. Jesus. But the slow on the Q is going back to what I'm assuming it was. The cooldown's going down. So it's going to be harder to pull off the Q. The W is just like you fucking shit yourself everywhere, so that's cool. And the R, oh boy, I actually prefer the old R, honestly. Because the new R, Zac could fuck it up. The old R, how the fucking Zac fuck it up? He literally just knocks everyone up. Zac now bounces 4 times on cast, with a 1 second delay between each bounce. Lovely, each bounce does damage. Cool. And the same bounces do half his damage and don't knock up, but they do damage. Cool. And Zac can move during less bounce and gains movement speed during it. Lovely, I enjoy this. Thank you, Riot. Hopefully people will play Zac now. Holy shit. Okay, Challenger Recall, we talked about this. This is ass. No one cares. Rainbow Fluffed. Is it still going on? Where you would buy the Rainbow Fluffed icon and have the rainbow, like, what is it, fire behind you? Well, the rainbow trail behind you. Sparkly rainbows behind them. We're extending the Rainbow Fluffed icon availability and the special interaction that happened when that icon is equipped in-game and the rainbow. Oh, nice. Okay. So it'll run until June 30th. Lovely. Nice. I actually like this. I wish they would do stuff like this, like, as a selection. So, like, I'm all for personalizing your character in different ways that doesn't necessarily affect the champion, besides loading screen borders. Those are fine. But like, I don't want anything in game to be like, oh, with this. I mean, they kind of did it with the championship ribbon skin, where it's like, oh, if you had the original, she has a little crown, but the new one doesn't. Like, that's about as far as I want it to go, in game look wise. Aside from that, having like things just added on to every character, like, for instance, the Rainbow Fluff Trail. If you have the icon, I want that as like a selectable thing. Like, oh, what do you want your trail to be? Like stuff like that. Stuff like that would be amazing if they added it in. I think we need more of that. Alright, bug fixes, no one gives a shit, and then the one skin releasing this patch, which Adrian's gonna buy me, Little Demon Trist, and I already addressed that. Okay. Overall, this patch was very strange. I think they're doing things that overall help the people they're trying to help, except Yumi. But they're doing it in a way that it didn't seem like they're doing what they wanted, but it still helped the champion. So that's a little weird. I'm going to give this patch, after everything considered, it's not a bad patch, I don't think at all. Some weird shit happened, and we're going to have to sit with it a little bit. I'm going to give this patch 7 Marc Merrills out of 10 Marc Merrills. Final decision. Next patch will most likely get a very high score because of the whole hullabaloo it's adding. But that's next patch. So I hope you enjoyed this. I am going to eat and hopefully cure my sore throat. Maybe even play some League. Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.